Welcome to the 3 secrets for power over food forever. You made it to secret number 3. If you haven't seen secrets number 1 and 2, they're really great. So go back and watch those when you're done with this one. So secret number 3, losing weight is much more linked to what you eat and how often you eat, much more so than exercise. So this is not a free pass to get out of exercise. In fact, exercise is super important for living a healthy lifestyle. We need to have toned muscles so that we can function in the world and do all the activities, even standing up, right? Walking. We've got to have cardiovascular health as well so that our internal organs can keep functioning, so that we can run and keep up with our kids at the park and climb a set of stairs when we have one. So exercise is super important. But if you try adding it in at the same time you are trying to change the way that you look at food and consume food and how and when you eat it, it's a lot to deal with. So I suggest taking one big goal at a time. And if you're doing weight loss, then focus on what you're eating and how often you're eating. Here are the 4 things to keep in mind as you work towards that goal. Number 1, please eat a low glycemic and anti-inflammatory diet. This means that you're taking away that 90% of processed foods and artificial foods at the grocery store, anything packaged. It has a lot of things that aren't great for our bodies, and our body holds on to those as toxins. We don't process them because they weren't meant for human consumption. However, they found their way into food, and our brain thinks it's really important, so we keep consuming it. But then it just fills our body up with junk, and it makes metabolism hard. And while we're eating that stuff, which is mostly proteins and carbohydrates, we are sugar burners. All of that food gets converted into glucose, and glucose burns up really fast in our body. So you're constantly hungry because your body is in the mood to processing those glucose molecules because they are so easy to burn. You've got to change from being that type of a metabolizer to being a fat metabolizer. You are a fat burning machine, because when you're in fat burning mode, you can get past the food you're eating down into what we want to burn off, which is your fat. You can actually consume calories from your stomach, your hips, your arms, your back, and your body can use fat as its energy source. And when it's able to access that fat, you get thinner. Now, in order to become a fat burner, you have to do 2 things. Keep your insulin low and give yourself enough healthy fats that you are stoking that fire. So if glucose is like the sticks on a fire, then healthy fats are like the coals of the fire. And it's crazy. The more healthy fats you eat, the harder that fire burns. And it's like consuming fat makes you burn more fat. But it's healthy fat. Again, it's not these packaged foods at the store. We're talking about avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil, avocados, grass-fed butter. Those are the things that are important to begin with when you are in the first phases of losing weight. So change from a sugar burner to a fat burner by using a low glycemic, which means we're not eating very much sugar, and an anti-inflammatory diet, which means we're not eating anything packaged. So this is what it would look like. Each meal, you'd have 4 to 5 ounces of protein. You'd have 2 cups, which is like the size of your fist, 2 cups of vegetables, 1 cup of fruit per meal, an entire tablespoon, and possibly more if you're really hungry, of healthy fats, the ones I mentioned before. Which leads me into part number 2 of what you eat and how often you eat really does matter. So part number 2 is that you have got to eat only 2 times a day, not 3, not 6, not 10. A lot of us are eating a lot more often. And that's what keeps us in that sugar burning mode, because all that food's getting converted to glucose, our insulin levels are high, and our body cannot access those fat stores. It has no need to, because it's just consuming the calories we're eating all day long. So we've got to put a pause, time out for our body to actually force it to go consume the calories off our body. Now, this is good for us. When you're actually consuming more healthy fat and your body is burning fat, you can go a long time without feeling hungry. In fact, you know when you're in fat burning mode because you're not starving when you wake up. Like, you can make it easily till 12 or 2. And if one morning during this initial phase of losing weight, you're super hungry, put some, cream in your tea or coffee, or, just take a scoop of coconut oil. I mean, that's really crazy, but probably put some coconut oil in coffee or tea and just enjoy your healthy fats in those types of liquids, because then you actually will notice that hunger will go away. You're giving your body some fat to process, and it doesn't mess up the glucose insulin cycle. You are in fat burning mode. Okay, so again, it's anti-inflammatory, low glycemic diet. And number two, it's eat twice a day, because the lower your glucose levels are, the better your body will be able to stay in fat burning mode during that 24-hour period. So you can lose up to a pound to a pound and a half a day in fat burning mode. Your body can actually consume between 2,000 and 4,000 calories on your body per day when you eat this way. Number two, drink, or was that three? Number three, drink 100 ounces of water a day if you're 200 pounds or above. Anything under 200 pounds, you're going to divide that number by 2. So if you're 150, divide it by 2, you come out to 75 ounces. Now that's generally 2 to 3 cups more than we're told to eat with our 8 ounces of water a day. Now, the reason why water is so important is because in the metabolizing of your food, of your fat, your body requires water. It is required in that chemical reaction. So the more water you offer your body, the better it will be at metabolizing fat, and the more fat you will lose. Water is the motivation of metabolization, of metabolism. All right. Now, number 4 is that you've got to follow your body's genetic requirements. Did you know that DNA tests can now tell us what our particular body's requirements are for carbohydrates, proteins, and fats? There's not just 3 ways of eating: endomorphs, exomorphs, and mesomorphs, right? No, there's actually 7 or 8 different types. In fact, my body type, just to give you an example, it's kind of a rare one. It's 10% carbs, 25% proteins, and 65% healthy fats. I was blown away when I got this information back. It's like if you have a Lexus and you put regular gasoline in the tank, it will run, but it's going to be gummed up, right? That's how I was before I started eating for my DNA. And once you start giving your body the premium gasoline, the premium food that it wants to consume, it can burn fat like never before. So this is important for you to find out about what your genetic requirements are. In addition to that, when you add exercise into your weight loss routine and your weight loss way of life, you will be able to know what types of exercises are best for you. If you've been a person like me in the past who's like gone to the gym sometimes 1 or 2 hours a day, exercising pretty intensely, like body pump, body combat, dance classes, and anything else that you can find, then you've probably been exercising too extremely. I was, because when I got my DNA back, it told me to exercise between 110 and 130 for my heart rate. We're always told, oh, your max heart rate's like 155 to 170. Not for me. And when I was exercising that high, I was producing cortisol. And I would work out all the time and not lose weight, because cortisol is a stress hormone. I was stressing the freak out of my body, and it wasn't able to access my fat stores because of that hormone cortisol. So you want to know what your best place to exercise is. How many reps? How heavy should the weights be for optimal muscle building, which actually burns more fat? It's pretty incredible. There's tons of places online. I can give you some ideas as well. And using these 4 ideas for what you eat and how you eat it will really help you to get into the maintenance mode of losing weight and be able to maintain that for the rest of your life. Number 1, low glycemic, anti-inflammatory. Number 2, eating only 2 meals a day, staying in that fat burning zone. Number 3, drinking half your body weight in water, in ounces. And number 4, following your body's genetic DNA code for what you require in the way of macros and what your body requires in the way of exercise, so that you can optimize your body's use of the calories and use of the energy that you're using to exercise, so that it can go to building muscle and burning fat. I hope that you enjoyed these 3 secrets. Again, if you haven't seen the other 2, go back and watch them. If you want more information, just check below. I have so much more to offer you to help you in this journey for lifetime weight loss, and that you can have power over food forever. Thanks so much.